what's happening? I got a question about how to do ceilings without leaving streak and roller marks behind. So apparently it's a concern, and it's mainly technique. It's very simple, so I'm going to help you out. The main goal here is to keep a wet edge. You got to hurry up, you don't want the paint to dry on you, okay? So in this case, and it's all technique. So I always like to put it on firm. I'm using a 14-inch 3/8 nap microfiber roller. So I don't spread the paint out. This has a lot of paint on it. I don't spread it out too thin. I'm probably going 14 inches plus I'm probably going about an 18 to 20 inch coverage on one dip. And once I'm done, I press it pretty firm, but then I very delicately do a back roll. Very delicate. That ought to take care of my roller marks. Now watch this. It's all technique. Now if you see here, come over here, I'm not doing that area yet. I want to keep a wet edge. Again, I'm overlapping by about a third of my last one. I'm pressing it in, working it in, and then one more. Back roll. Very delicate. Now this side is still wet, so I want to hurry up and get to it. Gotta have a little pep in your step. Again, I'm overlapping my roll by about a third. Do you see that? I work it in, I press it, work it in, and then the delicate back roll to the center. A lot of people say to go a long ways with your streaks, with your roller, when the window is facing you this way, kind of go parallel with it. I like going perpendicular because I like going the shortest distance. It's the best way to keep a wet edge, and if you roll the right way, you won't see layers or laps. So a couple more. How to roll the ceiling without streak marks. You also got to use a good coverage paint. It has a lot of body to it. I'm using Behr Premium Plus flat. I like flat. It's more washable than the ceiling paint. I'm pressing it in, and then I do a back roll. Delicate. And I ramp off. Ramp. That's called ramping off. I don't just stop and pull off. You gotta ramp off into your wet paint. Into the wet paint. Now, come back over here. Everything's wet. Wet edge. Beautiful. Work it in. Back roll. Very delicate. Sometimes I back roll a little further. Just to make sure. Stop from the middle, bring it to the wall. Work it in. Back roll. Delicate. Smooth. Go heavy on the paint. Don't be afraid. A lot of people, they press the roll and they try to squeeze every drop out. That's not good. That's when you get your streaks. Go heavy and don't spread it out too much. Leave it. Delicate back roll to the center. Delicate back roll. Now ceilings cause a lot of frustration, but if you roll heavy, don't spread it out too thin, you apply your first roll firmly, and then do a very delicate back roll with a nice ramp off. You won't have any streaks. That dries, it should dry smooth. And you know, it helps when you have a textured ceiling, and most ceilings are textured like that. Look at that. Looks great. Chris here, KD Cares.